Hello, friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel English Conversation. Let's come to the topic. Two friends, Amit and Priya, are discussing the inspiring life story of Indian President Draupadi Murmu.
Priya, did you read about Draupadi Murmu? Her story is so inspiring.
Oh, yes. She's the current president of India, right? I've heard a little bit about her, but what makes her story so special?
Well, it's not just that she became the president, it's the journey she took to get there. Imagine coming from one of the most underprivileged communities in India, facing all kinds of personal tragedies, and still rising to hold the highest office in the country. That's what makes her story remarkable.
That does sound incredible. Tell me more. How did she start?
She was born in a small village in Odisha called Baidaposi in 1958. She comes from the Santal tribe, which is one of the largest indigenous communities in India. Her family wasn't rich by any means, but they valued education, which is rare for tribal families of that time.
Wow, so she had access to education?
Yes, she was one of the few girls from her village to attend school, and then she went on to complete her graduation in arts from Rama Devi Women's College in Bhubaneswar. Her early life was tough though. Imagine being a tribal girl trying to make it in a world where even basic opportunities were scarce.
I can only imagine. It's so hard for people in marginalized communities to get an education, let alone aspire for leadership roles.
Exactly. After completing her education, Draupadi Murmu started her career as a teacher at a government school. But she wasn't just interested in earning a living, she wanted to serve her people. That's when she entered politics. She joined the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, in the 1990s and quickly gained recognition for her work.
I didn't know she was a teacher. That makes her rise to politics even more fascinating. So, how did she get involved in the BJP?
Well, she had a natural knack for leadership. Her work as a social activist and educator helped her build a strong rapport with the local communities. People trusted her. In 1997, she was elected as a councillor in the Rairangpur Nagar Panchayat. She also became the vice president of the BJP's Scheduled Tribes Morcha in Odisha.
That's an impressive trajectory. But did she face challenges, especially being a woman in Indian politics?
Oh, absolutely. Being a tribal woman, she had to face multiple layers of discrimination. But what's even more heartbreaking is the personal loss she endured. Between 2009 and 2015, she lost her husband, two sons, mother, and brother. Can you imagine? She lost almost her entire family in such a short span of time.
That's devastating. I can't imagine how someone could go through so much pain and still find the strength to carry on.
It's her resilience that sets her apart. Despite the immense personal loss, she continued her work with even greater dedication. In 2015, she was appointed as the governor of Jharkhand, becoming the first tribal woman to hold that post.
That's historic. And Jharkhand, being a state with a significant tribal population, must have been a perfect place for her to serve.
Absolutely. She worked tirelessly for the tribal communities there. One of her standout moments was when she refused to sign bills passed by the Jharkhand government that would have made it easier to transfer tribal land to private companies. Her decision wasn't just a legal one, it was deeply personal. She understood the value of land to the tribal people, both culturally and economically.
She really seems like someone who puts people first, especially her community.
That's exactly it. She's always been deeply rooted in her identity as a tribal woman, and she's never lost sight of the issues that matter most to her people. But what's even more inspiring is that she's not just focused on tribal issues. She's worked on women's empowerment, education, and rural development throughout her career.
I can see why she's such an inspiring figure. But how did she end up becoming the President of India?
Well, it was quite unexpected, to be honest. In June 2022, the BJP-led National Democratic Alliance nominated her as their candidate for the presidential elections. Her candidacy was widely welcomed, not just by the BJP but by many regional parties as well. People saw her as a symbol of hope, someone who could bring attention to marginalized communities at the highest level of governance.
And she won the election, right?
Yes, she won with a significant margin. On July 25th, 2022, Draupadi Murmu was sworn in as the 15th President of India, making history as the first tribal woman to hold the position. It's a monumental achievement, not just for her, but for the millions of tribal people across India.
I'm definitely going to read more about her now. Thanks for sharing this, Amit. It's rare to come across such a powerful story.
Anytime, it's a story worth telling over and over again. This conversational format presents Draupadi Murmu's life story in a way that's engaging and relatable. It highlights her journey, struggles, and achievements, making her story inspiring for listeners.